What if I told you that you can never lose? That every single time that you step into the arena of competition, whether it's a sport, business, dating, or anything else, that you are guaranteed to win. Would you believe me? Because here's the hard truth. If you don't believe me, you will never be able to win. Your subconscious mind will always get in the way. It will always hold you back because you have already pre-programmed yourself to lose. There are 3 things that I want you to never say to yourself. And the third one is the most important. So make sure you stick around until the end. The first thing that you should never say to yourself is lose. Just never say the word lose. Now, obviously you're going to say, Patrick, what the hell? You just said that we're never supposed to lose. Now you're telling me to say the word lose. What the hell does that mean? Here's what it means. Lose is a noun. When you say I lose, you are placing emphasis on the L, which stands for loser. So when you say I lose, you are calling yourself a loser. I'm not saying that you shouldn't feel bad if you lose. Of course you should feel bad. But what I am saying is that you should never, ever call yourself a loser. Never, ever say that you lost. Instead, say that you did your best, that you tried your hardest. Say that you put up a good fight. Say that you gave it all that you had. Say that you walked out with your head held high and that you are proud of yourself because you know that you gave it everything you got. This is extremely important, especially in sports. Imagine if every time that you stepped into the ring or onto the court or onto the field, you were saying, I'm gonna lose, I'm gonna lose, I'm gonna lose. How would that make you feel? Terrible. Don't do it. Never call yourself a loser. Now, the second thing that you should never say to yourself is, I don't lose. Now, this may seem like the opposite of the first one, but hear me out. Saying, I don't lose, implies that you are invincible, that you are unbeatable, that you are the greatest one that ever was. And guess what? You are, but you're not invincible. There is somebody out there that has beaten you before. There is somebody out there that has beaten you at some point in your life. It could have been in school. It could have been in a sport. It could have been in a competition. Somebody out there has beaten you. Saying, I don't lose sets you up for failure. Why? Because you're telling yourself that you're invincible. You're telling yourself that you're unbeatable. And then you go into competition with that attitude. And what happens? You lose. Now, this doesn't mean that you shouldn't have confidence. Of course, you should have confidence. In fact, you should have the confidence of knowing that you've already won. But this is different than saying, I don't lose. Confidence is based on facts. It's based on your preparation. It's based on your training. It's based on your skills. Whereas, I don't lose is an arrogant statement, and arrogance will always get you in trouble. The last thing that you should never say to yourself is, I don't lose, I win, that's my job, that's what I do. Because here's the hard truth. If you don't believe me, you will never be able to win. Your subconscious mind will always get in the way. It will always hold you back because you have already pre-programmed yourself to lose. So how do you fix this? Well, it's simple. You need to convince yourself that you are a winner. You need to convince yourself that winning is your job. That's what you do. You are a winner. And the only way that you can do that is by truly understanding and believing that you are a winner. Once you truly understand and believe that you are a winner, then you need to act like one. You need to walk like a winner. You need to talk like a winner. You need to carry yourself like a winner. You need to train like a winner. You need to prepare like a winner. You need to think like a winner. And if you do all these things, guess what? You will become a winner. But remember, this isn't some magic phrase that you just say once and all of a sudden you're a real winner. No. This is something that you need to work on every single day. This is something that you need to program into your subconscious mind. This is something that you need to truly understand and believe. Now, if you want to know how to become successful in anything, then click the video on the screen now. And remember, losers complain about the referee. Winners show up and win the game.